Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today I'm going to be unboxing 3 new fragrance clones, including Fragrance World's Vulcan Sable. So let's jump into it. All right, we are back with another unboxing first impressions video of 3 new fragrance clones that I recently picked up. Links can be down in the description if you decide you want to check any of these fragrances out. Also have some coupon codes, save yourself a few bucks at a variety of different places if you decide you want to shop with them. So pretty stoked on this one today. I got myself a Zamea. I got another one from the Cedarland Perfumes if you watched my video last week. And we got that Fragrance World, the Vulcan Sable. Pretty excited to check that one out. So let's quit screwing around and let's get into it. All right, kicking things off, going to the house of Zamea, and it's Zimaya's Ramsh Imperial. Now you can scoop this up for $40, and I've been having some good luck with the Zamea line lately. They got some good fragrances, so we're gonna try this one. And for those who missed it last week, I know there were some complaints. We got the knife flip of his back. So let's dive in, shall we? All right, there we have the box presentation for Zimaya's Ramsh Imperium. Decent looking box presentation. It is a Eau de Parfum concentration. Has this nice little ruby gem that's in the middle of this. What is that? Just kind of a nice ornate circular design there, and yeah, nice looking box presentation. It does slide off like so. I could feel the bottle loose in here. Let's be careful. Oh no, it's not bad. So, decent box presentation sitting in this nice little podium there. And bottle presentation, that is a nice looking bottle. Nice kind of sleek tapered look to this, nice thick base going on to it. It's kind of a cheapy plastic. Doesn't feel like it's gonna like break, but if you drop this on its side, I definitely think it would crack, but it is kind of a nice pattern that's going on there. Cap on this has that ruby gem that was on the box kind of going right there, Zamea on the back. And this is a nice thick heavy metal. This has definitely got some weight for it. That would hurt your foot if you dropped it on it. And the atomizer on this sucker takes a second there. Decent looking atomizer, nothing too crazy. Nice distribution, nice long sprays will definitely get the job done. But what does it smell like? So right off the rip, just smelling this in the air. Really nice, clean, fresh out the shower, blue style of fragrance. Nice clean lavender that's in here. It's got a bit of like a musky ambroxan going on to it as well, really kind of giving it that blue feel. A little touch of some mint and some woods that's worked in there, but really about that kind of like fresh, clean lavender, a little bit of an ambroxan kiss that's going through, nice muskiness that's there. So fresh, clean, blue style of fragrance. Let's dive in. Yeah, so right off the rip, just smelling this off paper. Like I said, really nice, fresh, clean style of fragrance. The lavender in this is really nice, mixing in with this mint. The mint almost has like a bit of a spearmint thing going on to it, so it's not like a sharp, fresh, spicy mint. It's got a little bit of like a sweet touch going to it, but it still adds that mintiness to that lavender, really kind of accentuating that aromatic feel to it. Really nice kind of sweet musk that's worked in there. Almost kind of a like, not quite a soapy clean sandalwood, but it's definitely kind of a clean, smooth sandalwood that's worked its way in there. And you're getting that ambroxan push that's coming through. Just a really kind of like your typical kind of like fresh out the shower blue style of fragrance. Has a hint of like a Parfums de Marly Percival. It's not a clone of that, but it's like in that neighborhood. I have heard people say this is like a Mont Blanc Legend Blue twist clone. I've smelt that one a long time ago, but the performance on that was mid, so I never like kept it or whatever, but definitely in that kind of that neighborhood. As it's opening up a little bit more, that mint is surprisingly like really starting to kind of charge up. So like I said, has that kind of spearmint sort of vibe going on to it, mixing in with that fresh, clean lavender, but it's got like almost that cooling sensation when you get a whiff of some spearmint, kind of like you can feel it behind your eyeballs, kind of cooling. That's the kind of mint that's starting to come forward. And again, mixing it with some woody notes on the ambroxan that's there, really, really quite pleasant. Yeah, just like a really kind of dumb reach, crowd pleasing, compliment factor style of fragrance. Nothing too mind-blowing or like artistically unique, but you don't always need that. This is just gonna be kind of, you don't know what to wear, you can grab it and give it a try, but so far. So let's skip to the dry down, see how this unfolds, and we'll go from there. All right, back with the dry down of Zimaya's Ramsh Imperium. Been about an hour. Let's settle down, do its own thing. Not a whole lot changed in the dry down. There's a little bit more of this kind of green, mossy earthiness that came in from that base, but it's still holding on to that fresh, clean blue sort of feel, that lavender, the mint still sticking around, has little woody touches as well as that ambroxan push coming through. So nice balance of some like woody touches, some like aromatics, little hint of some sweetness just to kind of give it that dumb reach, crowd pleasing, compliment factor style of fragrance that's just gonna work if you're looking for kind of, like I said, kind of a dumb reach blue style of fragrance, and I am enjoying this one. We'll see how the performance is on this. It is pushing off the paper fairly well, so I'm hopeful this will perform fairly well, but I'll have to get back to you guys. But overall, for 40 bucks, if you're looking for, like I said, kind of an easy to reach for blue style of fragrance, you might want to check this one out. That's Zimaya's Ramsh Imperium. All right, next up, going to the house of Cedarland Perfumes, and it's Cedarland Perfumes inspired by Tom Ford Noir Extreme. Now you can scoop this up for about $50, and if you watched my video last week, I unboxed another one of the Cedarland's perfumes, and I was thoroughly impressed by that. It was a great first impression, and now we have this one. And this man does not mess around with fancy names. He just tells you what it's gonna smell like. He has a ton of it on his website, so we're gonna check this one out today. Box presentation on this, a really nice kind of slide out style of box here. Nice thick cardboard going onto it. All the necessaries kind of on the back there. And it is sitting in this nice kind of snug style of fuzzy podium. So box presentation on this, pretty straightforward, but pretty nice. And the bottle presentation, also quite nice. Got this kind of metal plaque on there, name of the fragrance house right there and what it's inspired by, nice round corners. Has this kind of grip texture. I don't know if you guys can hear that. So nice looking bottle. Cap on this is kind of a mix of some mostly plastic, so don't think this would crush in my powerful hands unless I really kind of gave her on that one. And the atomizer on this is quite nice. Nice fat sprays, goes a decent distance, will absolutely get the job done. So overall, box and bottle presentation on this, quite nice. But what does this smell like? So right out the gates, just smelling this in the air, absolutely has that Tom Ford Noir Extreme style of DNA. So you get that like nice, almost kind of soft powdery florals that are in there. It's some touches of some spice. There's some additional sweetness coming in, a little bit of like a vanilla, some woods that are in the background, but really has that kind of signature soft, sweet, like floral spiciness that's in that Tom Ford Noir Extreme. And just like last week with the other one, I'm thoroughly impressed with like how accurate, like how close these are. So let's dive in, shall we? Yeah, so right off the rip, just smelling this off paper, like I said, really has that Tom Ford Noir Extreme style of DNA. Nice, soft, kind of sweet florals mixed in there. Hint of some cardamom spice, some like, almost some like little green touches that are in behind, and you're getting some like vanilla and some woods that are in the background, but it's really about that soft, kind of floral, sweet edge that's there with just a little hint of some spice that is really like indicative of that Noir Extreme DNA. This is really well done. As it's opening up a little bit more, I'm starting to pick up a little bit like more of this neroli, this orange flower that's coming in, mixing in with some rose and some other floral notes that are there. But it's also starting to pick up some of this like amberiness, which I think is kind of giving it that kind of soft, fuzzy texture that mixes in with the florals, giving it that kind of like soft, comforting sort of vibe. The spices in here are really kind of like fusing in with those floral notes, just adding to just kind of like a little bit more like of a darkness or like a warmth, if you will, to this. And then it's like a woody base, some vanillic chords coming up, just forming that foundation. And just, it's so nice. Yeah, this is just really good. Like soft, smooth, alluring, nice balance between the florals, the cardamom that's coming through, some of the woody notes that are here, a little like kiss of some saffron, nutmeg, kind of like warming things up, giving it like that handsome, gentlemanly sort of like masculinity, but it's working with those really nice kind of soft, sweet florals that are there. And there is more like of that vanillic woodiness that's starting to come up from the base. Just really well done. I'm thoroughly impressed. But let's skip to the dry down, see how this unfolds, and we'll go from there. All right, back with the dry down of Cedarland Perfumes inspired by Tom Ford Noir Extreme. Been about an hour. Let's settle down, do its own thing. Beautiful dry down on this. Again, I'm really impressed with this fragrance house's like how accurate it is to the original. So has that soft floral aspect of the Tom Ford Noir, a little bit more of the vanillic woodiness has come through, a little bit of an amberiness has come through in this dry down, and it has this really nice kind of smooth sandalwood that really works well with that soft floral core of this fragrance. The spice is still there, so it's kind of still giving it that masculine edge with that rose, the jasmine, some of the orange flower, little hint of that neroli still in the background, but through and through, this is Tom Ford's Noir Extreme. That's all I really got to say about that. It's just a really well done dupe of that fragrance, and like I said, I am thoroughly impressed. And for 50 bucks, I think in comparison to the Tom Ford, it's a fraction of the price, and you're getting very close, if not almost identical to that fragrance. And I'm a big fan of this one. I'm definitely gonna be checking out more of the Cedarland perfumes because I'm 2 for 2 on these. Really liking them. Might be worth checking out. That's Cedarland Perfumes inspired by Tom Ford Noir Extreme. All right, last but hopefully not least, going to the house of Fragrance World with their French Avenue Vulcan Sable. Now, scoop this up from Fragrance Buy for $50, and this is a fairly new release. I have not heard too much about this one, so let's just dive in, shall we? All right, so now we have the box presentation for Fragrance World's French Avenue Vulcan Sable. Nice looking box going on here. All the necessaries on the back. Got this nice kind of gold shimmery snake on the front. Name of the fragrance right there. And it is a slide off jacket like so. It's a little tight, bear with me. And the inside box presentation. It's a little hard to see on the camera here, but it's got this like snake skin texture that's going on to it. It's really quite nice actually. Nice little added touch. And the French Avenue right there, if the camera can get it, is very light. And box opens up like so, revealing our fragrance bottle sitting on the inside there. So very nice box presentation. Nice kind of fuzzy foam little bed for that to lay in. So box presentation on this, pretty nice. Fragrance World does a pretty good job of their box presentations and their bottle presentations. And the bottle, pretty straightforward, just kind of like a rounded rectangular style of bottle here. Has this kind of, again, kind of like a bit of a snake skin thing working right there, and also kind of a snake skin kind of pattern going on there. Nice heavy bottle that's going on to this one. Oh, I didn't see the snake sitting right there. That would make sense why it's going around. Cap on this. Thick plastic, yeah, it's a pretty thick plastic, would not crush in my powerful hands. And the atomizer on this sucker, ooh, nice long sprays on that. Yeah, good atomizer, will absolutely get the job done. But what does this smell like? So right out the gate, just smelling this in the air, really nice kind of like sweet, citrusy, boozy, little touch of some spice going on to it in the air. A lot like kind of sweeter than I was anticipating. I don't know what I was anticipating. This apparently is a twist on Sandance by Stefan Humbert Lucas 777. I have not had my nose on that one, so I can't tell you if this is a good dupe or not, but that's apparently what it's a twist on. But I'm liking it in the air. It's a nice mix, like I said, some booziness, some sweetness, little touch of some mandarin that's going on with some spice. Let's dive in. Yeah, so right off the rip, just smelling this off paper, a lot boozier off the paper. Like the whiskey aspect of this is really coming forward. So has that kind of warmth, but it also has that kind of like that sweetness that you can get from some of those kind of like more boozy accords. Mixing it with some mandarin, it's got this like the sweet, fruity, citrusy sort of vibe going on to it. And I'm also picking up on almost kind of like a licoricey style of spice, like an anise style of spice that's coming through with this one. Just got like a nice combination of like spice, sweet, some booziness, a little bit of warmth, but it still has this like freshness going on. This is interesting, but I'm digging it. As it's opening up a little bit more, the spice is coming forward. And the spice in this is like, it's almost got kind of like a sharp balsamic style of spiciness that's coming through. Like certain types of benzoin kind of have this like sharpness to it. And it's same with that kind of spicy, like licoricey style of spice as well. But it's mixing in with that booziness, like the whiskey's holding on here. Still has that little touch of that mandarin sweetness that's going there. Starting to get kind of like a tonka vanillic sort of accord mixing in with that mandarin sweetness. So it's got this like this creamy aspect to it, but it's also got this like balsamic sharp spice that's running up against it with that kind of whiskey note that's sitting in the middle. So it's a very unique style of fragrance, and like I'm digging the balance that's happening right now. Yeah, a little bit of like some earthiness is starting to kind of slowly unfold here, like a kind of a patchouli sort of, like spice patchouli sort of vibe coming through. But overall, very unique. I don't know if this is going to be for everybody, and I'm still not 100% sure if this is my vibe, but like artistically, this is a really nice fragrance so far. So let's skip to the dry down, see how this unfolds, and we'll go from there. All right, back with the dry down of Fragrance World's Vulcan Sable. Been about an hour, let it settle down, do its own thing. Really nice dry down on this. This got so kind of like smooth and silky in the dry down, this like creamy tonka bean vanilla that came through, but it's mixing in with this benzoin that has this really nice kind of like a spiced benzoin aspect to it, mixing it in with that kind of that anise, a little bit of some additional spices that are there, and it still maintains this kind of like this fresh mandarin orange, like dunked in like a nice rich whiskey sort of vibe. So you're getting that sweetness, you're getting that kind of boozy sweetness with that mandarin orange combination, if you will. And it just mixes in with those spices, that creamy sort of vanilla base that's going on to it with that nice benzoin anise style of spice that's in there. And it's just a great combination of some sweet touches, some boozy touches, some like creamy textures, some nice like kind of interesting spice profiles. I'm digging this one. It has an artistic sort of vibe going on to it, so it's not going to be like a complete blind buy for everybody. That some people might not enjoy this one, but I'm definitely enjoying this one, and not even just from an artistic point of view. Like, I'm definitely going to be wearing this one because I just like the combination of all the things going on here, and I think they did a really good job so far. And I do think this is going to be a good performer. This is like the first thing I smelled when I walked back in this room, so I have high hopes for the performance, but I'll have to get back to you guys. So overall, for $50, I think this was a great pickup for me. Might be worth checking out. That's Fragrance World's Vulcan Sable. And I want to hear from you guys. What are some other fragrances you want to see me do an unboxing video for? Comment down below. Love hearing from you guys. Love getting your different recommendations, your hidden gems, different taste and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.